Welcome, wanderer, to Grimm Lore Masked, where shadows speak and whispers hold more. Tonight we step beyond the pages of books, beyond legends, beyond the flames that once warmed our hands and warned of monsters who walked unseen among men. Here, danger often wears familiar faces, evil stalks the streets in quiet disguise. From village firesides to hidden corners of history, we uncover the truths that inspired stories you thought you knew. Prepare yourself, the grim pilot opens a door to a creature older than Hollywood, a shadow walking where humans believe they are safe. In episode 1, the world twists anew, Little Red Riding Hood reborn in dew and shadow. Through Portland streets where night falls thick and heavy, a jogger strides unaware, eyes shielded by headphones, footsteps swallowed by the dark. A beast unseen waits, stalking, calculating, its fury dormant yet alive, like fire beneath. Frost, Detective Nick Burkhart, and Hank Griffin arrive, pulled into a horror that no law can explain. A college girl is struck, leaving the city trembling, a reminder that shadows are not always far, and monsters do not always live in forests. At home, Juliet's warmth flickers, fragile against the darkness, yet Nick harbors a secret. He sees beneath the flesh, beyond the ordinary, past the human mask. Faces betray claws, eyes glow with intent, primal instincts hidden in polite conversation, a world humans do not yet understand. Aunt Marie arrives, frail yet commanding, her body weakened by disease, her spirit embowed. She tells Nick of his heritage, descendant of the brothers Grimm, bearer of ancient sight. A key she hands him, old, mysterious, heavy with meaning, unlocking visions that reveal the beasts walking among men. When little Robin Howell vanishes on her way to her grandmother, Nick suspects the elusive Blutbad Monroe, yet the creature is no enemy. Together, man and Wesen move through shadows, searching streets, parks, and alleys for what cannot stay hidden. Danger, deception, and the secrets of the city unfold long before Hollywood gave wolves yellow eyes and cinematic howls, before silver bullets and full moons became law, the old forests of Europe whispered a far more unsettling truth. Germanic tribes spoke of berserkers, warriors who did not merely fight like animals but invited them inside. These men wore wolfskins and bearskins not as armor but as ritual. They entered battle already half gone, eyes burning white or icy blue, their breath ragged, their voices fractured into snarls and screams. Pain no longer reached them, blades did not slow them. Fear had no place to land. They did not transform under moonlight. They became the beast through will, belief, and blood. Human thought fused with animal instinct, creating something neither fully man nor fully monster. A walking nightmare that moved with purpose. Roman scribes recorded these encounters with unease. They described warriors who laughed as they were wounded, who bit shields and tore flesh with their teeth. Some called them divine instruments of war. Others labeled them cursed, uncontrollable, damned by the gods themselves. Across Germany and France, whispers grew darker. Villagers spoke of werewolfery, not fairy tales, but accusations. Livestock slaughtered in precise brutality. Children who vanished without screams, tracks that led not to dens but back to homes. The terror was never fully beast, it was human, a neighbor, a hunter, a man known by name. One such name would echo for centuries, Peter Stumpp, the werewolf of Bedburg. To terrified villagers, he was half man, half wolf, driven by hunger and rage so consuming that the line between choice and curse vanished entirely. His crimes were recorded in horrifying detail, acts of murder, cannibalism, and unspeakable cruelty. Whether madness, belief, or manipulation drove him no longer mattered. What mattered was this: Stump claimed awareness. He knew what he was doing and could not stop. This is the closest echo of a true bloodbad woge, a mind overtaken by primal instinct, aware yet powerless, watching the beast act through human hands. Even Little Red Riding Hood did not begin as a tale of wolves. It was a warning about men. Early versions told of a shapeshifter, predator who spoke kindly, who wore familiarity like a disguise. The lesson was never fear the forest. It was this: the wolf hides in plain sight, and danger often wears a face you already trust. When Grimm reached into this history, it did not erase the darkness, it refined it. The ancient horrors were reshaped, their edges softened just enough to let modern viewers look closer without looking away. The bloodbad gained something folklore rarely allowed: self-control. A mercy real wolf men never knew. Where old legends demanded frenzy and bloodshed, Grimm introduced restraint, meditation, discipline, dietary control, moral reflection. Monroe is not cured of his nature. He manages it, he chooses, he reasons, he lives among humans while fully aware of what he could become. He is a bridge between man and beast, fear and empathy, instinct and responsibility. The show also reshaped isolation, where folklore spoke of lone killers hunted into forests. Grimm created packs, territories, rivalries, laws older than written language, a hidden civilization beneath the surface of modern life, its rules enforced beneath moonlight as rigid as any human society, and perhaps most unsettling of all, Grimm replaced superstition with science. Where curses once ruled, now genetics whispered explanation. Neurological triggers replaced spells, inheritance replaced witchcraft. The fear remained, but now it felt plausible, and that made it worse. Because monsters grounded in reality do not stay on screens, they linger. Wolf legends have never truly been about wolves. They are about hunger, violence hidden beneath politeness, cruelty cloaked in civility, the terrifying realization that anyone given the right moment may cross the line. The Blutbad is a mirror held too close for comfort. A reminder that forests were never the only places monsters lived, in the quiet neighbor who never raises his voice, in the smiling colleague whose temper flickers just beneath the surface. In the friend whose anger burns hotter than reason, a secret hunger, a buried rage, a primal instinct masked in flesh, these myths endure because they reveal truths humans recognize instinctively yet refuse to confront, that the beast is not an intruder. Centuries of stories trace these legends backward through time, nor epics speak of wolf spirits stalking battlefields, warriors infused with animal rage, tearing through enemies as if guided by something older than thought. These fighters were not feared by enemies alone. They were feared by their own people, men who could not always return from the beast they unleashed. Medieval Europe transformed fear into accusation. Trials erupted, villagers whispered names behind closed doors. Men were accused of becoming wolves, of hiding in forests, of returning home with blood they could not explain. These were not merely stories, they were morality lessons carved into memory. Warnings that danger could wear trusted faces, that evil does not always arrive howling. Little Red Riding Hood emerged not as a children's tale, but as survival wisdom. Be vigilant. Respect the dangers beyond the hearth. Do not mistake kindness for safety. Moonlit nights bore witness to hunts, transgressions, and secret predators, neither fully beast nor fully man. The wind carried their stories through generations, not to entertain but to teach. And that is why the Bloodbad still matters, because the myth never died, it simply learned how to hide. The forest did not truly disappear. It was paved, concrete replaced soil, streetlights replaced moonlight, but the wolf did not vanish with the trees, it adapted. Today, the hunt does not always leave blood in the snow. It leaves headlines, police reports, court transcripts. The modern wolf wears suits, uniforms, smiles. It studies rules not to obey them, but to bend them. Psychology now names what folklore once feared: impulse disorders, antisocial traits, neurological breaks between empathy and action. Yet the pattern remains unchanged. A double life, a controlled exterior, a private descent. Neighbors still say the same words they always have. He was quiet, he seemed normal. No one suspected a thing. The myth did not invent. The Bloodbad of old lost himself to rage beneath the moon. The modern wolf loses himself behind closed doors, behind authority, behind silence. Technology has not tamed the beast, it has given it camouflage. The wolf survives because it speaks a truth we have never outgrown, that civilization is thin, that control is learned, not guaranteed, that every society balances on restraint. The Bloodbad is not a monster to be slain, it is a warning to be remembered. When Grimm allows its creatures self-control, it offers hope but also responsibility. The question is no longer what are you? It is what do you choose to be? Because the beast does not arrive from beyond us. It waits, patient, watching, learning your habits. It lives where anger is fed instead of faced, where hunger is indulged instead of understood, where power replaces conscience. And that is why these stories are never finished. They evolve as we do. The wolf does not need the forest anymore. It has found the city. It has learned our names. and it is very, very good at pretending to be human. Grimm gave us a new kind of monster. But the Blutbad's roots stretch into Berserker rage, medieval trials, and the whispered fireside tales of German villages. These stories were warnings for children, villagers, and all who walk in night. Monsters are not always distant, they live in instincts, impulses, and choices made under hunger, rage, or fear. Legends endure, because truth never fades. If you want more hidden truths behind the world's oldest tales, subscribe to Grimm Lore Masked, where fairy tales are not fiction, but warnings whispered across centuries, shadows that never fully fade.